How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane. I'm here to give you my review for the Fantastic Four First Steps Marvel movie review. This is the first movie of Phase 6. So, hey, I need you to do something for me. I need you to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of more reviews like this one. And if you want to help me out even further, my Patreon link is in the description below. I appreciate you guys. I really, really do. So, one, I know I gotta get out Ironheart, which is interesting because, well, I've had like 2 things spoiled because I got the first 3 episodes, already watched them. I need to finish up, but you know, the internet is the internet. But we're not talking about that. That was the end of Phase 5. We're talking about the beginning of Phase 6 as we go into this multiverse, which Kevin Feige, I believe, very recently mentioned that I think Secret Wars is going to be kind of like a restart or a reboot. Yeah. Got this little thing here. What is or who are the Fantastic Four? So, the Fantastic Four, obviously, book created in 1961 by Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, and it's about 4 people. Technically a family. You got Reed Richards, you got Susan Storm or Susan Storm Richards. It's interesting because a lot of times she's called Susan Richards in the comics, but in this movie they are married. But in this movie, she's just Sue Storm. Then there's Johnny Storm, her brother, and then you have Ben Grimm. They go through space on. It's not. I guess it's supposed to be like a routine, like supposed to be like a spacewalk, I presume. They get up there, cosmic rays batter them, and then Ben becomes the Thing. Johnny becomes the Human Torch. Flame on! Susan can, turn invisible, but also manipulate like force fields. And Reed Richards can stretch, stretch his body to unbelievable limits, which is interesting because Reed Richards his main power is actually being one of the smartest minds in the world. And the Marvel Universe is kind of a toss-up whether he's the smartest person. I've heard it said that he's the smartest, but then it's like a tie between well, I would say it's a toss-up, but it's between him, Tony Stark, Bruce Banner, Hank Pym, Hank McCoy, Beast. All these dudes super duper smart. Actually, that's how you get the Illuminati, is you get all these powerful people and powerful minds. Black Panther too, but I believe it said that Reed is the smartest, which would explain why he's a bit of an asshole. But I digress. That's who the Fantastic Four are. Actually, I guess I could go into a little bit more about the characters because Reed is interesting. He's work, but he does care about his family. He cares about the Fantastic Four. He cares about the greater good people. Susan, I'm not really a big fan of the character. Like, these characters have been shown to be immensely powerful, which I guess it checks out because Stan Lee's favorite characters, like his favorite hero, this guy here, Silver Surfer, favorite character Silver Surfer, and his favorite villain was Victor Von Doom, both hailing from Fantastic Four. As a matter of fact, Stan Lee was going to quit comics, but then first issue Fantastic Four came out, and it was met with I don't want to say unbelievable success, but he didn't think it would be successful. And this is where a lot of characters get their premiere. As a matter of fact, if you give me 2 seconds here, you get characters like for sure Galactus, Silver Surfer, Dr. Doom obviously come from here, but Black Panther first shows up in here. Namor the Submariner reappears in here. So you get the Inhumans in here. Who else is? I feel like I'm forgetting. I feel like I'm forgetting other characters, but Skrulls appear in here. Skrull and the Kree appear in here as well. Fantastic Four, I'm going to say, safe to say, was Stan Lee's favorite comic. They're called Marvel's first family. Technically, they are like the first group of superhero family members, right? You even have, I think, well, Sue had to take a break And then you get She-Hulk was the first person to replace a member in the Fantastic Four, but there was a run in the 90s, I think from like 1990 to like 93, where like Fantastic Four were missing. So then you get one of my favorite versions of Fantastic Four, which were Spider-Man, Wolverine, the Hulk as Joe Fixit, Grey Hulk, and Danny Ketch, Ghost Rider, with some things that I've been told about the ending of Ironheart. It is reason like this. That's actually one reason why I'm really excited about this, because we have this greater universe coming in. Let's say when all the universes converge and the Fantastic Four go missing, you get Peter going, "Oh man, I had fun with these guys and my best buddy Johnny Storm," because remember Spider-Man is Amazing Friends. Oh man, actually no, that was Iceman, but him and Johnny do have a friendship, which was further expounded upon in Ultimates, I believe. But, oh man, my buddy's missing. I got to get, I'm going to come here with, I'm going to guess Henry Cavill's going to be Wolverine. I got to get Henry Cavill and then Mark Ruffalo and then whoever the hell is going to play Ghost Rider. And then maybe we'll get, I don't know if they would pay for like those 4 actors to be in a TV series, but maybe we'll get like a spinoff movie. I wouldn't mind a series though. Like, just make it 6 episodes like you do everything else. 6 episodes, you will make your money. But then you have other characters that have filled in, like the aforementioned Black Panther. Storm has been in here. Who else has been part of this? I just found my list of like other characters that shown up, like Kang the Conqueror, but not part of the Fantastic Four, which it's been speculated that he is related to Reed Richards, because his real name is Nathaniel Richards. Who knows? Scott Lang, Ant-Man. You got She-Thing. Who else has been part of this group? I feel like I'm missing a bunch of characters, because you have Frankie Ray, I think her last name is, who was a different kind of Nova. She's been in this group before. You have the Inhuman Medusa. You got Luke Cage. Various characters have been part of the Fantastic Four, and honestly, I like that. Since we're getting them in the greater universe, things can happen. This came from the DVD pack of the second Fantastic Four movie made by Fox. We have gotten 4 movies, one unofficial one, which the actors from that cameo in this movie as civilians. We got the 2 Fox ones, then we had the Fan Four Sick, which I didn't bother watching that movie. It didn't look good. I didn't bother doing it. Now, I gotta say, I fully believe that Stan Lee and Jack Kirby would love this movie. Let's talk about the plot. Plot is, we know the Fantastic Four. We meet the Fantastic Four. Sue's gonna have a baby. She's gonna have Franklin Richards. They solve many things, many problems. They're known throughout the world. And then out of the blue comes the Silver Surfer, Shalla-Bal. This is Shalla-Bal. This is Earth 828, by the way. So she comes out, tells them Galactus. They gotta go. They want to go find Galactus. Maybe tell him, hey, don't eat Earth. Remember, this is all spoilers, by the way. So I'm just putting it out there. Spoilers. He wants Franklin inside of Sue because he can sense that he has the power cosmic and he can replace him as being stuck as the devourer. They got to go back to Earth, and they need to figure out how to save the world, not give up their son, and beat Galactus. There you go. The plot is simple, so simple, and I don't need an overly complicated plot. I enjoyed that it's contained. This is a contained story, and that gets a 5 out of 5 automatically. The music, Fantastic Four, that theme, easily top 5 themes of all MCU movies. Of all MCU things, it is, I guess X-Men 97 counts as MCU, don't they? Because it's right up there with the X-Men theme, which is probably the greatest. And if we're talking movies, it's right up there with the Avengers theme and the I guess I could say Spider-Man theme, because the Avengers theme's really good. Iron Man theme's really good. The Captain America one's really good too. Like when you hear the music, you know it's them, and the fact that their name is in the song, and it's only said like maybe twice if you listen to the extended version. I will put the link to that in here. Music is great. I think at the end I think they're playing a Cult of Galactus song. Yeah, there's when you're about to get to the end of the world, you get some culty people. So I think because I was listening to the lyrics and it said "devour us" or something, or "devour me." I didn't get it. I don't know if it was a real song. Kind of sucked to hear that after the really great theme was playing in the credits, but whatever. The special effects, phenomenal. Looking at Galactus looks great. The eyes for like Galactus, Johnny when he has the fire on him, Shalla-Bal, those effects on the eyes and the shininess, especially the fire effects on Johnny look great. Thing, Ben Grimm, he looks amazing. Just even the stretchiness of, people had issues with the stretchiness when you saw Reed in like the full trailer. I didn't have issues with it, but it's gonna be hard to reconcile a human stretching in any type of like media that isn't comics, isn't cartoons, but it looked fine to me. I mean, if you all watched Netflix's live action One Piece and you were okay with that, you'll be okay with this. The pace is great. I adore this pace. I am so happy that even though they did the backstory was in like, they did it for like a TV spot. They're going out to talk to people. This is all in the 60s, by the way. This world is the 60s. So they're going out there, do your typical TV spot to talk, and that's how you get the backstory. We see footage of them like getting dressed to do this prestigious space thing, and we don't get like another first movie where they're trying to reconcile the fact that, oh no, Ben looks like this thing, and then oh man, I'm sorry, I gotta reverse this, I'll figure out how to fix this. We don't get that. We don't get that at all. It had been 4 years since all that happened. 4. There was another 4 years at the end of the movie. That's funny. Increments of 4. I see you. But I like that. I like that we don't have to go through them getting used to being a family, them getting used to being heroes. It's like, they are known. They're this world's heroes. Let's continue forward. Really, really good. The humor was good too. The only issue I might have with the pacing, so you can tell when time has moved forward based on what's out there. Because then at one point, I think when Shalla-Bal shows up, when Silver Surfer shows up, it's Halloween. Before that, it wasn't Halloween. So they go into space to find Galactus. Well, they've been gone for a month. And then, Galactus is chasing after them eventually. So he passes Jupiter and he passes Mars. Time is going through. They have to build these space teleporter things to try to move Earth. You can tell time is moving. I sometimes wish I can see more of it, like a little thing at the bottom go, X amount of months later, but that does get overdone. So I'm between a 4 and a 4.5 for that. I appreciate what they did with the pacing, but I guess for myself, I'm like, all right, I just have to pay attention a little bit more. I actually don't know how long this movie is, now that I think about it. I assumed that it was just 2 hours, right? It's 114 minutes. That's actually not bad. Didn't feel like a really long movie. So let's talk about the nerdy stuff, the cameo stuff here. I'm gonna go ahead and so they do the 60s. They have their own cartoon where the thing says clobbering time in there. He eventually says it towards the end of the movie, but it's in there, and it's literally just a mirror of our world, right? We had that. It wasn't the 60s, like the 70s Fantastic Four cartoon. They also had a cartoon in the 90s. They also have the best cartoon. If you have Disney Plus, watch Fantastic Four. I think it's called Earth's Greatest Heroes, not Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which is funny enough. 2 seconds. I know I'm talking. There we go. It's nope. Wrong one. Sorry, Fantastic Four: World's Greatest Heroes. That show first started on Cartoon Network. I've seen it be played on Nickelodeon back and forth when it was doing syndication. Only 26 episodes, but it's 26 episodes of Fantastic Four goodness. You get to see their personalities, the type of characters they are. You do see Namor, you see Hulk, you see She-Hulk. Don't think you see Wolverine. Doom is obviously in there as well. Really, it's a good show. Best Fantastic Four show by far. But basing off this 60s cartoon, they also do, this goes with the pacing, they also do like introduction to their powers, us seeing them. So you see Reed kind of moving through an explosion and doing a superhero landing and fighting red ghosts, man apes or apes. Red Ghost was supposed to show up, who was going to be played by John Malkovich, but I guess they had to cut the movie down for time. He's removed, but you see one of his orangutans. Kind of like you could have just showed his face a little bit. But in that cartoon, we do see Dragon Man. Okay, that's great. That means you actually fought Dragon Man. We got to see them fight Giganto. Those of you who are familiar with Snap should know Giganto. I actually pulled up some. We literally get like a recreation of this moment here, which is one of the most. This is Fantastic Four #1. It is a recreation of one of the greatest comic book covers. Well, one of the most iconic comic book covers of all time. Right. Well, this is Scotty Young version, but to show you how iconic it is, Alex Ross version. I'm sorry, guys. Alex Ross version of this. It's, in this 60s style comic stuff, you feel that in there. Like I mentioned, the effects, the costumes are great, especially for a Marvel movie. Now, you get all the lines and stuff, superhero lines. They're astronauts. They're going to have like extra lines and stuff, but Reed doesn't have a white collar, showing he's a little bit different. The others do have white collar. Ben, mostly in clothes in this show. Sorry, in this movie. He's in clothes this whole time. You only get to see him shirtless at the end of the credits and when they're going through the credits and stuff like that. Maybe we'll get, more of the traditional thing and like, shirts off, pants on kind of deal when it comes to later movies. But their costumes are great. Ben is being a person, with the trench coat and the jacket. Kind of reminds me of Raphael. But back to more nerdy stuff. Oog, like there's people making comic books of the Fantastic Four, and I guess they're chronicling their adventures. Oog show, like you see on the board, Oog lives again. That was literally on there. Who else? We see Puppet Master, we see Wizard, and their Puppet Master and Wizard are mentioned. I think he mentioned Trapster, because while Reed is trying to baby-proof Baxter Building with a nice montage from Kirby in the 60s. We love our montages, right? He also was monitoring criminal activity and called police who have hover cars. They have a fantastic car, right? So a fantastic car does show up, but hover cars and regular cars in 60 stylings. I honestly wish they could have showed the Wizard. Wizard, Puppet Master. I wish Paste Pot Pete was in here. That's a deep cut. I wish we could have seen also the Wizard. Is it the Wizard or the Wizard? But the Frightful Four. Frightful Four could show up, I guess, in a sequel. I don't know how fast they're gonna actually rush for us to see Norrin Rad Silver Surfer. We'll talk about Silver Surfer later though. Mole Man is in here, and we get the standard what you've seen Mole Man in cartoons and stuff. He does the bad thing and crumbles the building. We see Moloids, which are just the subterranean people, but then they make diplomacy with them, which is only because of Sue. And Sue has always kind of been the diplomat of the group. And Mole Man kind of takes the place of Namor a little bit. He antagonizes everybody, especially when they need his help to evacuate New York City. So if Galactus stomps around and bursts through buildings, people won't die. But I like how he's like, I don't want to talk. No, I want to hear him ask me. I want him to beg me. And just Reed just not having it. But Sue calling him by his real name, which I didn't even bother writing it down because I call him Mole Man too. Mole Man, real name is Harvey Elder, played by Paul Walter Hauser. Very funny when he shows up. Excuse me. We get a sneak peek when Sue brings it, when they make the Future Foundation, by the way, which is something we don't see till later in comics, which has, their kids, the Power Pack, Artie, and there's two mutants that look the same. It's Artie and Leech. You guys remember Leech? He got killed in X-Men 97 when Magneto was trying to protect him and says something, don't be afraid in German. Yeah, he died in that. But Future Foundation also has Spider-Man in a white and black outfit. Just Future Foundation is here. That is so interesting that they did it like that. Am I missing anything? So, Latveria seat, conveniently empty. I feel, by the way, Doom shows up. And if you, please don't go to Wikipedia if you haven't seen this movie. Actually, you're here listening to me talk. You probably don't give a shit and you will go to Wikipedia. Robert Downey Jr. gets an uncredited scene as Doom in there. Because Latveria is not there anytime we see them doing world leader talks or world what's what I'm looking for, not world leader but like world conferences and stuff. Latveria seat's empty and Doom shows up in that mid-credit scene, green hood, mask off, Franklin kind of touching his face. My theory is that he is this world's Victor Von Doom, and we'll probably get a different Victor Von Doom somewhere down the road. And maybe he's from a universe that Galactus had killed everybody. I don't know. Or maybe he shows up and kills this world's Doom and just like, I'm going to monitor all this and see what's going on here. That would be interesting because Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom are supposed to be like, they went to school together. Actually, in some universes they went to school together, but I know in the comics Victor Von Doom and Tony Stark also went to school together, which is fairly interesting. Do I have any more nerdy stuff? Oh yeah, the cartoon part in here was drawn by Titmouse. Titmouse, I didn't even bother looking up what else did Titmouse actually, hold on, Titmouse animation. I feel like they did the Vox Machina stuff. Yeah, they did do the Vox Machina stuff, and they did Stugo. I don't know what Stugo is. What else have they done here? Venture Brothers, Metalocalypse, Arlo the Alligator Boy. I don't care about that. They've done many things. Did they also do Teen Titans Go to the movies? Really? Okay. They do a lot of animation. Apparently, they're also doing something with. They're doing something with Miracle Man and Big Barda. Yeah, that just okay. All right, I'm learning new things as I'm talking to you all. But yeah, they did the animation for that. I already mentioned Shalla-Bal. Shalla-Bal has a bit of she's like a what if version of Norrin Radd, because Norrin Radd originally becomes the Silver Surfer and Shalla-Bal is his lover. In here, she has a kid. She says to Galactus, "Hey, I'll be your herald, spare my world." And that's basically what this dude did. They just didn't have a kid, but in here she has a kid. The tech here is cool. We got like teleporters. We got space warpers. The spaceship looks pretty dang cool. Did you all notice the pregnancy test that Sue was using? Looked like it said Stark Industry on it. The test that was like blinks blue if you're pregnant, which for that being like a super futuristic 60s, that's actually kind of interesting. But look like it says Stark Industries on it. If someone goes and sees it again before I do, Confirm that for me, because I thought it said Stark Industry. Thing gets a semi love interest with Rachel Roseman. I'm used to Alicia. I don't know if his first girlfriend in the comics was Rachel, but I do remember Alicia, the blind woman who's like, I don't need to see it, that's kind of a cool thing in this movie, because time has passed on. People aren't staring at, Ben Grimm going, he's a monster man, mommy. It's like, no, that's Ben Grimm. That's the thing. That's the homie. Hey, pick up the car. Okay, I'll pick up the car. Oh, I'm going to throw it at you. Oh, I'm not going to throw it at you. I saw something that said Stanley Service. I thought that was like an homage to Stan Lee, because it's Stanley, not Stan Lee. But the real homage is the Excelsior launch pad. They do have like a not a clip, but like a quote from Jack Kirby at the end of the movie as an homage to him. So I'm gonna start talking about characters. Let's talk about Galactus. Damn, he is massive in this movie. He is kaiju level huge. Dare I say, might be taller than what's my homie called? Taller than Godzilla? Bigger than Godzilla? Like, jumps in the water, makes the waves splash onto New York City, and he's bigger than the Statue of Liberty. I find it interesting that he does go down and pick up some dirt, kind of smells it, like smells the dirt, just looks around and does his little scanner eyes for Franklin. Massive kaiju level. His ship is even big. It has to house him and help feed him, right? So it's even bigger than other ships we've seen, like bigger than Thanos' ship, I believe. He is. When Reed had Herbie grab samples so he can analyze them, he's billions of years old. He's not even of their reality. He doesn't seem like he's of their reality, which I like that for Galactus, like being a being that is billions of years old and possibly from other realities, a celestial. Galactus even mentions that he used to be small like the Fantastic Four until he became this, which is part of his backstory. Galactus does have a daughter, and his mom does show up in the comics as well. So, all right. He's like a god or force of nature. Tortures the shit out of Reed. I'm dipping into Reed Richards, but when he pulls him, it's almost like he's enjoying it. Just okay. Wow. Also, he kills Sue. More on that in a minute. Herbie was very funny. The person who does the voice, there's someone who does the voice for Herbie. Same person who did the voice of General Grievous in the Star Wars movies, which was, I feel bad. His name is, nope, that's Ralph Ennis. Is that? Nope. Yep. Matthew Wood. Herbie's funny. He's not treated as like a thing. He's treated like a person by all the Fantastic Four. Kind of like how, speaking of Star Wars, kind of like how in Star Wars, like anybody who's with R2-D2 or close to him doesn't treat him like, oh yeah, this is just a robot. They treat him like he is a person. I like that a lot. He has a lot of funny bits with Thing, especially through all of those montages. Funny, cute character. I'm glad he's here. I think Herbie had his first appearance in the second Fantastic Four cartoon. Like, he replaced Johnny for some reason. Don't know. Let's talk about Pedro. Pedro Pascal did great as Reed Richards. He did his homework too. Like, looking, I look up, he read different versions of Reed Richards, and his is kind of like an amalgamation of all of them. You get the Reed that I know. I'm not a huge fan of Reed Richards because he's a dick. I'm not a huge fan of Sue Storm. I feel like Susan Storm is really overrated by a lot of people, but that's neither here nor there. You get like the Reed when he is truthful. He tells the world, when they say, so, you beat Galactus. How was it? And he was like, we didn't beat Galactus. We went to negotiate. He wanted our son and said he would spare the world. Obviously, we did not do that. And people are just, they're pissed, they're mad. And you get one reporter going, are we safe? I don't know. I like the human side to Reed. You do get a lot of the focused professor kind of thing, like the professor from like Flubber a little bit, when it's like, oh man, trying to find the iodine, couldn't find the iodine, but still working on stuff. Even has to take meetings with Johnny when Johnny just wants their spacesuits updated, which he eventually did, which Johnny gave him a hug, because the Reed was kind of like, oh, okay, I got a hug. Okay, cool. Because him and Johnny have an interesting relationship. Johnny's still a jerk, but I'll get to Johnny in a second. But Reed, when they're all sitting around talking, and they want us to give up Franklin, it is ethical, mathematical, and it's an available option. And Sue was pissed, and he's like, look, I didn't say I was gonna do it. It's just, that's me. This is just me being me. I have all these dark thoughts and think of what could happen to protect us from everyone else. And Sue says the most bitchy thing ever, bruh. She's like, sometimes you being you hurts me sometimes. I'm just, doesn't apologize for it. Never says sorry in the movie. I'm just like, damn, dude is not. What annoys me about that whole entire part was when Galactus was like, yeah, I'll spare your world, give me a kid. Your kid has the power cosmic. He's normal. Nah, the baby's strong enough that he is hiding his abilities from you. Give me the baby, so I won't have to eat planets no more, because I'm tired of doing this shit. And he says, hell no, I'm not going. So I like that this Reed instantly is like, no, doesn't even consider it. But, when he has time to sit down and think, he's like, okay, I'm thinking of all the possibilities. He still harbors guilt for what happened to all of them. You see it when they do like the opening with with them talking, doing interviews of them. Even when his one-on-one with Ben, he still harbors guilt over what has happened to all of them, and all of them have kind of moved past it. But they're telling him, stop, stop holding yourself responsible for it. He has great fear when he, the smartest man in the world, cannot figure this out. He doesn't have options, and when he has the conversation with his team, he talks about Archimedes' lever. He's like, give me a lever and I can move the world. To which, that's how they kind of come up with it, with moving the world because of Sue, which gonna segue into Sue. It's interesting that Vanessa Kirby used all versions of Sue, most notably when she was Malice, because she said she didn't want Sue, if I can read this, she didn't want Susan to be a stereotypical goody sweet mother. That she's not. She is fierce. She's like, she's very motherly in here. She is protective. She's the one, actually the one in the movie that says, hey ladies, my brother, he's very single. She takes that initiative. She's very protective, and I get it. I have to give the character credit when she goes out to do the speech to the people, telling them like, you all know my story. Me and my brother, we lost our mom. My father tried to keep us together and may have not done the best job, but, he do anything for family and I do anything for my son. But you all became our family. You all made us feel loved. And she does say a quote that I was trying to figure out. She says, I won't give up my son for the world, but I won't give up the world for my son. Which is kind of like, fuck did you say? I get it. She's not going to sacrifice her kid just to save the planet. But at the same time, she's not going to let the planet die because they're going to find another option. She's not going to let everything go to shit just because. Now, I'm not going to lie. I was like, that's a bit of a tongue tie. I get what you did there where you're trying to do your Plymouth Rock moment, but it was a good enough speech that it swayed the people. She had to go out there and talk. And it was also a good enough speech because her mom said she would move heaven and earth for her and Johnny. And that's when Ray goes, wait a minute, I made a teleporter. I can just make bigger teleporters to move everything. To move Earth to a solar system that 2% different, but we can live there and figure out this galactic shit. To which he won't know what they are, and they have to look all over again. Okay, didn't figure it, but she does push herself to the max. In comics, she is kind of one of the most OP characters, right? It's not just invisible and floating disc. She can put like shields around your heart and like snatch it out, stuff like that. Much like my favorite blonde woman in comics, Emma Frost, I don't really like her too much. You know, in Ultimates, she does feed into kissing, making out with Namor. She does feed into being with Ben when he turns into this energy being. She's part of the reason why Reed becomes the Maker, which you get a little hint that he could be on the dark side if things went wrong. But excuse me, but in the mainline comics, she's trying to get Reed's attention before they get married. I do like the fact that they are married in here, which kind of eliminates all that other stuff. I do hope we get a little bit of the Namor flirting with Sue, though. Just hint at that a little bit. Just give me a little bit of that, right? Ben was great. Literally is the everyman. He, even like in the comics, he's the heart of the Fantastic Four. Ben is awesome. Best member by far. Ben Grimm, the Thing, is probably my favorite member of the original Fantastic Four. It's hard to dislike him. Yeah, a lot of times he played up as like, oh, it's time to beat up stuff, man. I'm sick of this. It's clobbering time. Gotta remember, dude's a pilot. You gotta have some type of brains to be a pilot. You know, fly planes and spacecraft. But in here, he's a nice guy. He's a man of people. He goes back to Yancey Street. Look at where he came from. Interacts with the kids. Interacts with the synagogue. I'm assuming it's a synagogue. They showed the Star of David. You know, he has chemistry with every single character. Like, his chemistry with Reed is really good. Like, best friends. He even tells him like, "Hey, you're not the smartest man in the world." And he's like, "But I am." No, he's like, "But you can't cook." And Reed goes, "Cooking's more of an art than a science," which Ben is the cook here. He even cares about Herbie's feelings, doesn't want to hurt his feelings because Herbie cooked. But he's like, "Oh, this is great, but we're going to make it even greater." Crush garlic. He instantly crushes Johnny's little toy from the cereal box, which was him going flame on over and over. He just turns it to dust. So he's obviously the strongest member. Dude pulled a barge. He pulled a ship. Like, he's super strong. What did he throw? He threw like a tanker truck, which I'm looking forward to seeing Ben versus the Hulk. This Thing versus the Hulk will be interesting because this Ben is a little bit more calmer, less aggressive. I want to see if that changes when he goes against someone that's actively aggressive. Chemistry with Sue is great. It's like, again, brother sister kind of thing. Him and Johnny are like boys. Like, it is nice. Like, they rag on each other and they do talk trash. Like, it's your girlfriend again, Johnny. Or I forget what Johnny says to Ben, but it is the normal Ben and Johnny thing that you get from most media. Which brings me to Johnny Storm, which I enjoyed them showing that him helping firefighters, where he just absorbs the flames. Johnny Storm has never been like between him. Hey, Reed is still kind of technically my least favorite, but Johnny Storm gets tons of respect from me because when he supposedly died, like, went to the negative zone to protect Ben, Franklin, and Valeria, the richest child that Dr. Doom helped deliver, and thus was able to named her Valeria. Doom cares about that girl a lot, but this is not about that. But Johnny went into the negative zone and said, "All right, I'm gonna hold them off." He keeps flaming on over and over again. It turns out he didn't die. I think he became the ruler of part of the negative zone, and I think he partially enslaved a nihilist. I don't know 100%, but Johnny did survive that. And here, he's about to sacrifice himself to make sure Galactus goes through that portal, because they were going to push him through teleportation portal to like some far side of the cosmos, and it would take him 1,000,000 years to get back to Earth. To which I'm going, so Reed, you got a plan for people in 1,000,000 years, right? Or are you going to live forever? I was trying to mention Reed's power, like his power being that he's smart. Since he's now stretchy, he could like expand his mind a little bit to get more knowledge in there and not forget things. That's kind of a nice little combo for him. I digress. Johnny was going to sacrifice himself. Didn't have to, because Silver Surfer, she came in, elbowed him, and took his place. Because Johnny, this is probably... So they didn't want Johnny to be like stereotypical womanizer like you get from Chris Evans. Chris Evans played the character like, you know, ladies' man, kind of charming, but still like, hey, baby, come here. They didn't do that because, well, it's 2025. You can't really do that too much. And that probably wouldn't be considered, they say it wouldn't be considered sexy by modern audiences. So he's less callous with people's feelings, which I noticed. Like, he's still a jerk. Like, he says to Reed, oh no, you're way out of your depth with being a dad. You know, my sister's going to be great though. But he doesn't tease Ben about being big rock man. He even tells Ben, keep the beard, which I forgot. Apparently his rocks grow. He gets like a rock beard. He's trying to chisel it off, and they're trying to save energy for the entire world so they can do this teleportation thing. But he doesn't shave it off, and he keeps like a rock beard. Okay, we're obviously not the point in Fantastic Four lore where he becomes human once a year. I'm looking forward to that. But Johnny loves space. Reed records messages he hears from space, which plays into the entire movie, which you knew it would, but it plays into the entire movie. They play on records, by the way. Not 45s. Those of you who know what 45s are, make sure you take some Bengay. Your joints are probably creaking. But he listens to him. Johnny loves space in here. Wants to go back into space. And he took time while Reed is figuring out everything else. You know, Johnny went and spoke to Shalla-Bal, and she said something in his language. And he figures out by meeting her again and saying, what did you say to me? And then figuring out, I heard her before. And they've gotten all these messages from space. He, with the passage of time, because it probably takes 8 to 6 months to make all these teleporters across the globe. They didn't do it quickly. I appreciate that. He had enough time to study, understand the language, and tell Shalla-Bal, yeah, your people thanked you for becoming the herald and sparing them. But all these other worlds, risk communicators, look like Dick Tracy risk communicators, by the way. Risk communicators, all these other people were begging, I just want to save my world. Please give me a chance to do that. Smart Johnny. Like, I like that he showed dedication and wanted to be a part of the team, since, you know, his main thing is flaming on it. Even Ben's main thing is punching stuff. He wants to beat up things. And we get this funny moment on the ship when Reed goes, look, if it's a giant space dragon, you can punch it. Sure. But they all have their own way of helping out. And this was his way of helping out. I like that. And special shout out to the CEO of the Future Foundation. What is the black lady called? She is played by Sarah Niles, who's a British actor. Lynn Nichols. She's like Sue's, like, I won't say best friend, but like best friend, right hand woman, like when they're doing the Future Foundation stuff with all of the nations, and she's like tells her, yeah, this guy wants to talk to you. Sue goes invisible. She's right on it, like, yeah, she's not in at the moment, but you know, she'll talk to you. And Sue becomes like, thank you so much. She's like, yeah, no, it's good. She's like, she is the shit. She is awesome. So that is all of the Fantastic Four. Movie is great. Movie is fun. Best Fantastic Four movie that's come out by far. Number five hits the spot. So I want to give this a 5 out of 5, but because it's Fantastic Four, I'll give it a 4 out of 4. I know that was lame. I'm sorry. It's a 5 out of 5, but you understand what I'm trying to say. Good movie, good pacing. You get an understanding that these characters are like, because we didn't see them for the first 4 years, we still get an understanding that they are close and tight through actions, facial expressions. You understand that Reed is usually, for a person who's the smartest person in the world, not just in the room, when he doesn't know how to solve an issue, he feels lost and helpless. And I like that he leans on the family. That is a plus for me. I like that all of them try to play a part. And for better or for worse, Sue being fierce but being the diplomat and the person that talks helped out a lot. Johnny having to take an unorthodox approach because he becomes a little bit obsessed with the space woman because he likes space in this universe, finds a way that helped them in the end. And Ben is Ben. Ben is Ben. Ben is always going to be great. I like the fact that when we're watching the trailer, like he runs through the pillars and he's like, why would he do that? He did that so Galactus could fall over while he's holding onto this building. Also, so Sue died. Franklin, Galactus told him, because Reed has been trying to scan his son. He does have a one-on-one talk with him, and he's like, I made this for you so I can scan you and just make sure that you're not like me. I don't want you to be like me, but you know what? I'm not going to use this. I'm just going to talk to you. Are you a space god? Because I really need to know that right now. And of course, it's a baby. The baby's not going to say anything, but the baby was hiding himself. And when Sue died, and they kind of passed the kids like, well, we're all saying our goodbyes, because I love that Reed Richards says, come on, baby, come on, baby, come on, baby. I've never heard Reed Richards ever refer to Susan Storm as his baby before. So in here, he shows tons of emotion for his wife. And when you put the baby on top, baby was initially crying, doesn't cry anymore, and Sue just wakes up with glowing ass eyes, and she's like, yeah, we don't know what his powers are, but holy hell, because he brought her back to life. So the OP Franklin Richards is here. I wonder if we're gonna which is funny, I didn't touch on this. In Earth X, Franklin Richards becomes Galactus, which is one of the things that kind of drives Reed mad, because he figures that it is Franklin, and Franklin realized that the universe needed a Galactus. This Galactus is any Galactus is much better than than freaking Purple Space Cloud, and better than the original Ultimate Galactus, which was just like a bunch of robots, I think. Or was that the Silver Surfer? Was it? Yeah, I think it was a bunch of robots. I forget what Galactus was in the original Ultimates, but yeah, I like this Reed Richards in here, mostly because it's Pedro Pascal, but really, really good job of showing his human side. I like that this feels like a family fighting crime, fighting against the forces of evil. Great movie, 5 out of 5. If you've seen it already, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Please do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of more reviews like this. I will have Ironheart for you at least by next week. That is a promise. If you want to support me even further, Patreon link is in the description below. Give it a click, whatever you choose to donate. I will greatly appreciate it. Until then, guys, please be good, be blessed, drink some water, wash those hands, be good to yourselves, be good to others. Either way it goes, please don't be a jerk, all right? There are people out there that care about you. If you're feeling down and out, please talk to someone. Life is too short. We've had several losses this week, but, and life is far too short for you to think that no one cares about you. Someone cares about you. Talk to someone, please. You want to talk to me? My social medias are in the description as well. Give me a follow. Say hello. Be mellow, and we'll be good to go. All right? All right. Until next time, me and my homie the Surfer, we're gonna get out of here. I got other stuff I gotta watch. I'll see y'all next time. Watch out, true believers. Fantastic. Excelsior.